Vishnupat Paramahansa Parikracharya Stotha to Shri Srimad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupat Paramahansa Parikracharya Stotha to Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitya Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So nice to see so many devotees here, especially on this very wonderful day of Mother's Day. I want to wish all the mothers a very, 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 very happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a good start of your Mother's Day. I hope the husbands and the children gave you some little treatment, little gifts, little pampering, little surprises, and it continues today, so we can still continue enjoying Mother's Day. Today being a very auspicious day, Mother's Day is also very auspicious, we're going to talk about the first mother. We were told in our scriptures that there are 7 mothers, and today we're just going to focus on the first mother, and that is the mother that gave birth to us. Or we became mothers by giving birth to our children. And when I was preparing for this class, a very nice point came up in one lecture that was given by a devotee where he said that a mother is the first divine guru. The key word in that 4th sentence after the word mother is actually, which one do you think is the real key word in that whole sentence? Divine. We've heard the word guru. We know the mother is the guru. We know that she's the first. But the key word is divine. So we ask ourselves, why is the mother divine? We know that we are the first gurus, the mother is the first guru, but why is it that a mother is also considered or is said to be divine? And the word divine comes from something holy, something spiritual, something whole. It's always, we've heard this term, divinity, comes from something spiritual, something very high, something very elevated, right? So we ask ourselves, why is the mother a divine guru? Prabhupada says, the closest to God's love is a mother's love. The closest to God's love is a mother's love. That's pretty deep, if you think about it. Nobody can understand the depth of a mother's love but only a mother. If we want to ask ourselves, what is it like to have God's love? Well, go ask the mother. Because the mother is the one that does everything with no limitations. Right? Sometimes, we wonder, and I'm sure some of the fathers may have experienced this, sometimes we wonder, how come that our children go to the mother first, not to the father. That's the answer right there. The closest, and it's not coming from me, Prabhupada actually quoted that. And you'll see a lot of quotes by Prabhupada. And we see more as morning walks. That's why his Prabhupada's morning walks and room conversations are even more deeper, I think, than his classes, because he gets really personal, really, really personal. So the closest love to God's love is mother's love. And why is that so? Because the mother's love is selfless. Will do anything, right? A mother will do anything for the child. There's no limitations. There's, no boundaries. A mother's love is limitless and spontaneous. When the child gets up at 3 in the morning saying, "Mom, I'm sick," we don't say, "You know what, Mom, kid, you know what? I need to go to work, we'll go to bed, I'll see you in 3 hours." No, we'll get up and we'll go find the medicine and we'll do something, right? Spontaneous. Very spontaneous. Now, if we take all those 3 qualities, at least the minimal 3 qualities, and we remember that the first one says, right, the closest love to God's love is a mother's love. So is Krishna. Krishna's love is selfless. That is why the mother's love is the closest to God's love. Because Krishna's love for us is selfless. Krishna is waiting. He will do anything for us if we only open the door and let him in. Right? For a child, if the child says, "I need mom's help," the mother's ready to do anything until the child asks for help. Same thing for Krishna. His love for us is selfless. And Krishna's love is also limitless and spontaneous. Krishna never says, "My love is just only to a certain degree." He never said, wait. Krishna is spontaneous. His love is limitless. It's all around us. That is the power of a mother's love. Closest to God's love. So whenever we ask ourselves, what is Krishna's love? Well, think of a mother's love. That is closest to Krishna's love. Then the next question becomes, okay, if the mother is a divine guru, what does that mean? You want to know, right? What does that mean? So Prabhupada says, it has kind of struggled lately because of Kali Yuga, unfortunately. But mothers have a spiritual culture. The spiritual culture of a mother, and I'm sure many of us can remember our childhood when we grew up with our grandparents, when we had our grandparents with us, or even our mothers, right? That every mother, there's a spiritual culture for mothers, and what is that? A mother is honored and respected as the topmost personality. Topmost. Not second class, not third class. Topmost personality. And within the human society, do we see that in today's day? We don't. Because why? The spiritual culture is gone. The spiritual culture is gone. Because that culture is gone, that's why the mother is not honored and respected as the topmost personality within the human society. The father is the official head of the family. I'm sure we all agree to that. They are the breadwinner. They are the ones that make sure that the finances of the family continues. They are the financial provider. They are the supporter. They are the protector. They are the provider. The list goes on. That's why they're head of the family. But the mother runs the show. I'm sure we all agree behind through her selfless service. And every father needs that. Every father of the household needs the backbone, the mother, to run the show through selfless service. That's the spiritual culture. And Prabhupada says, A mother's love is the purest love to be found in the material world. And it's really sad if we look in today's times and world, the age of quarrel, Kali Yuga, right? It's really minimizing. Mothers are not respected, mothers are not honored as a topmost personality. Mothers cannot even do a selfless service. When sometimes they abort the child because I'm not getting a kid, I don't want a kid. They just get rid of the kid. What's a selfless service? Therefore, there's no pure love. And all this is happening in today's time is because we are lacking the spiritual culture. What is the spiritual culture? Krishna consciousness. Pretty much. It's literally Krishna consciousness. That is the spiritual culture. So if we think, some of us that read the news, right? We think, why is this happening? How can the child do that to the mother? How can the mother do that to the child? We hear all kinds of news. Not just in America, it happens everywhere. Years ago, it's a very common news in America, and now it's all over the world. We hear that. How can the mother do that to the child? How can the child do that to the mother? The answer is we are lacking spiritual culture. Why? Because the mother is the head of the spiritual culture. The point where she runs the show through a selfless service, that's the mother's job. That's the mother's service. I was a very short clip I was watching yesterday, and I don't remember the name of this lady. Something Murthy from India. She's a very popular personality. I forgot her first name. Thank you. Yes. And someone asked her a question of what is her advice to young people today. I loved it. She's a strong woman. I really admire her. She mentioned young couple, not just women, and she mentioned, for young couples getting into marriage, don't expect a marriage with no arguments. There will be fights, Don't waste your time. Every relationship, marriage or not, there'll be fights. Just deal with it and just ignore it. Don't take it to heart. And secondly, she mentioned, I'm trying to remember the second and third. Don't remember. Mine is not doing a very good job today. But the fourth one she said, which was really, really, really funny, she said that all men should help the wife in the house. That's what she said. She says, don't expect your wife to be a software engineer and come home and cook. She says, our mothers did that because they were full-time mothers. They were not software engineers. They were not PhDs, so they can run the household. But in today's time, women are either doctors or lawyers or engineers or ITs or managers or what have you, and you want them to come back and cook. No, you go in the kitchen and help your wife. And I said, you go, lady. Because that's what we should be preaching. Teaching our youth today. We should be teaching our youth that help the woman in the kitchen. So that was so that we can maintain the honor and the respect, the spiritual culture. Very important point she mentioned. I said, yeah, she was very bold in her statement. Now, when we think about this term, spiritual culture, then the next question is, what does that mean? Right? What does the phrase spiritual culture of a mother mean? A mother plants the spiritual culture and duty of a mother as the mother plants the seed of devotion in the heart of her child. That is bhakti. That's the mother's duty. The mother's, and remember we said, right, the first guru is the mother. and the mother is the divine guru. So when the mother is the divine guru, divine means spiritual, divinity. So the first duty of the mother is to plant the seed of devotion in the heart of the child. First and foremost. First and foremost. And we plant that seed called Bhakti Lata Beej, the seed of devotion, in the child, in the heart of the child. In Manu Samhita, it is said that a teacher is 10 times more respected by the substitute teacher. The father is respected 100 times more than the teacher. But the mother is respected 1,000 times more than the father. Now, I don't want the wives going back and telling the fathers, you know, Anasuya said, so and so forth, so respect me. I did not say it, it's Manu Samhita. So let's get that straight. Okay? Anasuya is not saying it. Manu Samhita is saying it. So do not go back and tell your husbands, Anasuya said. Now, Manu Samhita is saying, let's get that clear on recorded, right? Thank you. That shows the position of the mother. Is it a big task? You bet it is. Is it a tall order to be a mother? You bet it is. Just as much as a mother is 1,000 times respected by the father, that means the mother's got a very, 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 very big duty. It's no joke being a mother. And that is why the mother is considered the divine guru. The first guru, to plant the seed of devotion. Sadly, a few days ago on Facebook, you know, I was watching a lot of friends that I know. You know, I think it's close to graduation time in most schools, you know. And I see a lot of congratulations, you know, congratulations that your son or daughter finished high school, did the master's, finished bachelor's, finished this, finished that. It was all over Facebook. You know, got this award, got 3, 4, 5 chords, you know, got this award to go to this place and that place. I mean, limitless. And then I said to myself, wow, how many times do we congratulate our child when they do something spiritual? You will never see it on Facebook. Ever. Ever. We only congratulate our children when they do something material. We do not congratulate that much when they do something spiritual. It's not the children's fault, it's our fault. We have planted the seed of materialism in our children. You know, like, better make it top in school because your cousin got an A, so you better get an A. Are they disagreeing to it? It's true. It's true. Right? Study hard because, you know, your uncle just got a PhD, so you at least better get a master's. Everyone don't come home. We do that. We plant the seed of competition and comparison in our children from birth. From birth. And then we wonder, why is there no spirituality in the world? Because that is the duty of the parent, is to plant the seed of bhakti in the heart of the child from birth. Not when they become 25, 35, 45, from birth. And it's really sad, you know, sometimes when I hear and when I see. My dad did that to me. I'm also one of those victims, lack of a better word. Because I broke his rules and then he felt sick. That's, Krishna, please forgive me. But I broke it. I wasn't going to go with his rules. But I was also in that, your cousin got a doctor, you better become a doctor. I'm like, no. Your other cousin became a surgeon, you better get this. I'm like, no. We feed that in their minds. We take so much time to congratulate our children in everything material. But when it comes to spirituality, we'll say, don't give that much time to Krishna. Go study. Right? Because your cousin got an A, so you must get an A. No, the chanting can wait, the reading can wait. But the interesting thing is, we know the Bhagavatam. At least we know some stories on the Bhagavatam, right? We know the Bhagavatam, we know some stories, we know some pastimes, pretty much by heart. But when it comes to our children, we said, no, don't follow that. Are Baba, then why read the Bhagavatam? For example, Pandavas. When did Queen Kunti taught them about Krishna? You all tell me. From the get-go. From the beginning. Exactly. The Pandavas were taught about Krishna and how to be a warrior from the beginning. We know that. Something also to think about. Do we do that to our children? We are supposed to plant the seed of devotion in our kids, right? If we go to the sons of Dasarath, of course Lord Ram was Krishna, one of the avatars. But when were they taught about spiritual life? When they went to Gurukul. When did they start Gurukul at that age? At that yuga. 5 to 7 years. At the age of 5 to 7, when they go to Gurukul, they already taught Krishna consciousness, spirituality, and the material knowledge. From the age they were planted the seed of devotion. Very famous pastime, Prahlad Maharaj. When was Prahlad Maharaj taught by Narada Muni about Krishna? From the womb. Before he came out, the seed of bhakti was already planted. And then we scratch our heads. Beta, wait till 25. The seed of bhakti can wait. Then why do we sing the glories of Prahlad Maharaj? Why do we sing the glories of Prahlad Maharaj? Just time pass? No, there's a lesson with it. Prahlad Maharaj, the seed was planted in the womb by Narada Muni before Prahlad Maharaj was born. Now, I've heard these concerns. Anasuya, but if my child takes to devotional life, then they will become a devotee of the Lord and they'll become beggars. It is better to be a beggar for the God, for Krishna, than to be a beggar for Joe Biden. I'll be honest. Because Joe Biden cannot take us back to Godhead. Krishna can take us back to Godhead. If we are the servants of the Lord 24/7, I can guarantee you, we will get shipped back to Goloka Vrindavan like that. Joe Biden cannot do it. No leaders in this world can do it, only Krishna. That's what we have heard. But Prahlad Maharaj, not only was he taught, not only was the seed of devotion planted in the heart of him before he was born, by the age of 5 he was preaching in the ashram, in the Gurukul. We know that pastime. But he also became a very great king. Now how is it possible? How did someone who was planted the seed of devotion before his birth became such a great emperor? So which means he knew the balance between bhakti and his dharma. We have the examples in the Bhagavatam. We just got to believe that whatever we read in the Bhagavatam can be applied in today's age. Because that is the duty of every parent. Here's just mother, every parent to plant the seed of devotion. I remember my mother, I come, and many of them that I come from, raised in a very strict Christian family. And my father worked out of the country when we were living, in Singapore. My dad used to work in Africa. His job was such, and he would come back once every 2 months and stay for 2 weeks, and then again he's sent to another part in Africa. He's one time it's East Africa, one time it's Sudan, then it's Cairo, then it's Egypt, then it's Tanzania, and all kinds of places. So my dad was hardly around when I was growing up. I think the only time my father was really like 24/7, all year round, living with me, my mother, and my sister, was I think when I got to my teenage years. He was hardly around because his job was such. My mother was almost like a single mother because my dad was hardly around. But one thing my mother did, she made sure every week we go to church. She would drag us, even though we were so little. We'll say, no, Mom, I'm tired. Mom, she goes, get out of bed. She would drag us. She never allowed us to give any excuse unless we have really sick with fever. She would drag us. She says, no, today is one day in a week, go to church. She would drag us. The night before itself, she would tell us, tomorrow's church, go to bed early. In the morning, get up, take a shower, get dressed, go to bed. Go to church. She every single weekend she did that, religiously. But not only did she do that, I was thinking about that, when I was preparing for this class. Every day at home, she would make my sister and I, my sister's a year and a half younger than me, she would make my sister and I bring out the Bible, and like how we have Sunday school, we also had that in the church, and we had our own little Sunday school book that depending on the age group, for different classes. And it was a quarterly book. She would make us bring out the Bible, bring out that book. She would make my sister and I sit down, read one verse every day, every evening, 7 o'clock. I'll never forget that. Every evening she would make us read a verse, and she would help make us read the lesson from that Sunday school booklet. Only then she'll say, okay, now I'll go to dinner. Every day she did that to us. That's the duty of a mother, to plant the seed of devotion religiously. So that lived with me. That really, really stayed with me. And I'll never forget that. And I think that is what helped me, to come into Krishna consciousness, because my mother planted that seed from small. She wouldn't take any excuse. My mother was very strict. My mother was very strict. When it comes to church, she will, no excuse. Even if you had to take a nap, she'll say, you take a nap earlier, get up and come. My mother was very strict. She didn't take no excuse. God bless her heart. She passed away in 2017. But yeah. So that is the duty of a mother, is to plant the seed of devotion. Duty of every parent. Duty of even the father, to support the mother, to plant that seed of devotion. Sometimes we are so caught up in this material world, we forget the blessing that we have as parents. Really, really, really deep. A mother creates a spiritual atmosphere at home and shares it within the society. It's the duty of the mother to make sure that the home is spiritual, so that we all, those living in the house, feel like, oh, I'm coming home to a sanctuary. Again, growing up, my mother really made that very, very strict in our house. And my dad used to work. So whenever he would come back from his travels after 2 months, as soon as he walks into the house, he'll say, I'm back in my sanctuary. The father works a lot, even though nowadays women do work, but the husbands also work a lot. They go through their own frustrations, they go through their own stuff, they go through their own what have you at the work. So for the father, when they come home, the home is their heaven, lack of a better word. Because it's already hellish enough for them on the job. So at least when they come home, they want to feel like, this is sanctuary. So it's on us to prepare that atmosphere for the family. It goes a long way. It really goes a long way. To prepare the home as the spiritual atmosphere, because it benefits both the child, the children, and the husband, and whoever else we have living in the house. It's our duty to create this, and it's the duty of the father to support the mother to create that. Because at the end, it's Krishna consciousness. It's not the material world. Unfortunately, we are in this age of Kali Yuga where it's very challenging for mothers, to really juggle the ball. Because one, women work, right? Many of us work full-time jobs. I have a full-time job. And it's challenging to wear so many hats. And that's why I really liked, what's the lady's name again?
Sudha.
Thank you. Her last point when she said that the husband or the man should support and help the wife in the house. Because you cannot expect a software engineer wife to come and cook every day. So it's very important that men and boys are taught how to cook. It's very, very important. It's really important how that boys are taught how to respect women, how to respect girls, how to honor the girls, how to respect the girls. So when they grow up, they have that motherly affection. Prabhupada says, except for men, except for the wife, all women are mothers. And we are supposed to address the women as Mataji. We are mothers. That's what Prabhupada said. So, but today, because many women are working, it's tough, right? They have to play the role for soccer mom, the rat race. And many women, and that's a very common term now, I'm a soccer mom. Took me years to understand that term. But yeah, they play that role, soccer mom, right? How to keep the spiritual home, how to keep the home spiritual? They have to be the guide, all in the women's head. And then they have to be the gardener. How to plant the seed of devotion in my family. I have to be a gardener. And then they have to be the CEO. Because the women are the backbone of the family. Don't all the men agree? Because when the women fall sick, the whole house falls apart. I know it happened in my house when my kids were small. When the mother is sick, that's it. The whole house is on standstill. It's like, you press the pause button on the movie, it's a standstill, freeze, right? It just goes standstill. Women are the back of the family. We play the role of a CEO. We are a maid. We gotta keep the house clean, right? We are peacemaker. I don't know how many of the women have got, when you have two siblings, the mother's come to be the mediator. When my kids were small, I played that role so much. Hare Krishna. I'm so glad they've grown up now. Because now they're their own mediators. I don't mediate anymore. My job is done. They can figure it out. When they were small, but that's the mother's job. We have to balance the forces. We have to be the peacemaker and the mediator. Not an easy job. Because like we said, they run to the mother. They don't go to the father. I'll tell you a joke, and my dad, and I'm sure my husband can laugh. Whenever my kids would come to me, it was so funny when they were small. Not only was I a peacemaker at home, they'll call me in my office. When I'm in the middle of work, especially my second one, Mama, how could do this? And then I got to get another call and call her. I said, now why did you do this? And then I got my other phone, and I'll say, no, go to your dad. Because in summertime he's done with teach, so he has summer off. I said, go to your dad. He'll say, Amma, Dad is not listening. I said, why? Because he says, go and sin no more. Because it's the mother's job to balance the process. We're the peacemaker, the mediator. So we have to play peacemaker and mediator even while working a full-time job. I mean, imagine that, right? We have to play relationship manager. When, in my house, it happened, but I don't know about you guys, when the father and the kids butt heads, the mothers have to come and harmonize. They have to talk to the father, then they got to talk to the children, then they got to talk to this one, then let's bring peace. We play the role of relationship manager. That's what we do. We play counselor, right? We have to give extra dedication and understanding. Father one side, then the husband has to roll, then the children got problems. Now how do I counsel all 3, 4, 5, however many people? And we are a nurse and a cook. We wear many hats. Mothers nowadays wear so many hats. Men, doesn't this sound like a migraine headache to you? It sounds like, oh my God, that's what we do. We have all these roles, and yes, we are a CEO, by the way, in the house, because we're the backbone. This is all we do, but it's no joke. That is the reason why today's challenge for mothers is, how can I be a spiritual guide? How can I plant the seed of bhakti in my children from the beginning, when I have to be a soccer mom, a gardener, a CEO, a housemaid, a peacemaker, relationship manager, counselor, nurse and cook. It's not easy. It's not easy. It really is not easy. Then let me ask you a question. How did our mothers do it? Have we ever wondered, how did my mother do it? How many of us have asked that question to ourselves? How did my mom do it? How many of you have asked the question to yourself? The men don't ask? Ay-yo-yo. Yes, we have asked, how did my mother do it? Because my wife is not getting it, right? How did my mother do it? Or the wives will say, I'm not getting it, how did my mom do it? Motherhood is a community of helping hands. That is how our mothers did it. We reached out and asked for help. That is how our mothers... See, our mothers grew up in a joint family situation. They reached out for hands. Right? They have sister-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, mother-in-laws, aunts, cousins, what have you. They grew up in a joint family. So they have extra hands to ask for help. The challenge here is we have forgotten that in this temple, we are a joint family. That's the community that we have forgotten that we have. Because we are so used to thinking, oh, my aunt is not here, my uncle, my cousin is not here, my sister's not here, my sister-in-law is not here, my, whatever, whoever, not here. We're so used to family members. But we are forgetting that we're a family here. Motherhood is a community of helping. There are so many women. Reach out and ask for help. Because we think, asking for help, oh my God, then they'll think I'm a useless mother. Are Baba, get that out of your mind. It is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is a sign of building community connection. It is not a sign of weakness. We should never think that way. Prabhupada built, I have to say. Prabhupada built a house where the whole world can live in. A house consists of what? Family members. This is a house. We are all family members. So ask for help. Just because we don't have our blood joint family here, doesn't mean that I have to wing it on my own. Ask for help. Reach out. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. That is the Kali Yuga material mentality. That is not the right consciousness. We are all family. We reach out, we ask for help. I have asked for help with my kids. When they were young, oh yes, I did. I sure did, quite a bit. So much so, even when I was working in the office before COVID, even my co-workers will help me. I had my co-workers go pick up my kids from school because I couldn't do it. And they'll be so happy that, sure, you don't go pick up your kids, you finish your meeting. They did it. Ask for help. If we ask for help, we reach out, we build a community. If we don't ask for help, it's just like saying, you know what? I don't want a community. I'm okay by myself. No. Ask for help. That's how our mothers did it. That's your answer. So we all were thinking, how did my mom do it? How did Amma do it? Well, that's how she did it. She asked for help. We can ask for help too. It takes a special bravery that can only come from humility and surrender, which means if we ask for help, that's a special bravery within us to really be honest and humble and surrender and say, hey, I need help. Can you please pick up my kids from school? Or, I have a meeting here, your kid is going there, would you mind just dropping them off for me? I'll pick them up. Little small things, the smallest of all things. I want to sit in class, your kid or my kid are there, can we split half-half? I do the 30 minutes and you do 30 minutes. Community. I did that. When my kids were born and raised in Gitanagri, the time that my kids were born, they were like a bunch of kids of all their ages. And of course, we all want to sit in class, naturally. But we can't. So what we do is all the mothers will share a 15 minute. Okay, 15 minutes you go, watch all the 10 kids in the playground, come back, the other one goes. Then come back, the other one goes. That's called community. That's how our mothers did it. They asked for help. We forgot the key point. Ask for help. It takes a village to raise a child. It really does. Going back to how our mothers did it, with a joint family, it was a village. So we here, we have this ISKCON as a village. It's a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It really does. That is the mood we have to have. That's why Prabhupada said, I built a house where the whole world can live in. That means all the kids are each other's children. It takes a village to raise a child. I was, don't mind me sharing this thought, Rucha, but sometimes when she has to get her kids straight, you know what she tells her son? Mother Anasuya is watching you from the camera in the house. I hope the boy doesn't grow up and hate me, but let's say that it doesn't. But her house has no camera. That's the only way to fool her son. And then he eats. Or whatever she wants him to do, he does. Please don't try that. She's the only exception. Please don't tell all the kids that are 10 cameras in your house and Anasuya is watching. For God's sake, don't do that. But it takes a village to raise a child. It really does. It's, and we have to believe in it. We have to believe, yes, it takes a village to raise a child, and I need help. That is called a community. The power of a mother's hand. I really was touched by this when I read, and I really thought it's a very important point that we all can really meditate on. In the name of progress, freedom, and independence, we waste so much time and energy by constantly competing for position of control and influence. And it's true. Women or men, we are working for progress. Right? We want to progress. We've got to get up to that top, what you call that? The top step of the ladder, or whatever you want to call it. We want freedom. We want independence. We want the women's lib, or whatever you call it. We waste so much energy, so much time, just for this. Competing for position and control, but we forget the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. That means the hand of a parent that rocks the cradle of the child. Our influence on that child determines their future. Meaning, if we plant the right seed in the child, they can do wonders. But it's got to be the right seed. Because as mothers, we need to plant the seed of devotion so that when they become adults, they'll be very, very strong. Like Prahlad Maharaj. He was given the seed of devotion from the womb. He came out as a great, in fact, Prahlad Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajans. So how can one of the Mahajans who was taught the Krishna consciousness before birth become such a great emperor, great king, great administrator, perfect manager, everything material, but very spiritual? How's that? Because of the seed of devotion planted in the child before birth. So don't underestimate our hands as parents. Don't underestimate it. Planting the seed of devotion doesn't mean that, oh, my child is going to become a beggar. They're going to go door to door and ask for picture. I think we watch too much of the old movies, so we see our kids going, Bhiksham, they we go door to door. No, absolutely not. Being a beggar for the Lord is such a, it's like an entitled, it's as a great entitlement to have that position. To be a servant of the Lord is not easy. It's pure mercy. Pure mercy. So if our children have that, plant that seed. Let them become beggars for the Lord. Let them become servants of the Lord. Let them become devotees of the Lord. Let them become, let them carry that bhakti in their heart, because they can be great adults and leaders one day. Because they will learn the art of balancing Krishna consciousness and material perfectly. It cannot be 30% Krishna and 70% material. It's got to be, actually, it should be more Krishna and less material. Because then everything will come out. There'll be 100. Because just like Prahlad Maharaj, he was one of the 12 Mahajans, great preacher, great administrator, great emperor, great manager, great leader, great everything, and he was he was a bhakta, he was a devotee of the Lord, singing the glories of the Lord. Same with Dhruva Maharaj. When did he go looking for Krishna? At what age? In the forest? 5 years! And he was a great devotee of the Lord. Very, very great. And an excellent king, excellent emperor, that even the Lord gave him a loka called Dhruva. So we have examples of how important it is as parents to plant the seed of bhakti in our child. In the heart, not in our child, in the heart of our child. So that they can grow up being strong adults. Very, very strong adults. So never underestimate the power of a parent's hand. When we rock our child, when we hold our child, when we cuddle our child, when we give them affection, when we give them love, everything makes them very, very strong. Very, very strong. Especially love and affection. Every child needs that. If we do not give the child the emotional, Say? Huh? Oh, I was saying something. The emotion, not attributes, qualities. Strengths, thank you. Strengths and qualities, the love, the affection, the care, the attention, the listening ear. If you don't give them that, you know where they'll go looking for it? Outside. They'll go looking for outside. So before they go looking outside, we got to do it inside. And how do we do it inside? We plant the seed of bhakti in their heart from the beginning itself. And I'm going to end with this. Mother Kunti, perfect example. Look at her life. She suffered. So queen. Half the life she was in the forest. Imagine that. She was a queen, but half the life she was in the forest. Banished. No husband. 5 children. Talk about being a single parent. That too boys, not girls. Who are very active. Okay? Planted the seed of bhakti in each child from the beginning. And they became pure devotees of Krishna. Maharaj Yudhishthira was an excellent administrator and king, emperor for the world, but still very devoted to the Lord. So it's not, don't think that, if I plant the seed of bhakti from age, they're going to lose, interest in education. No, they're not. They're not. We got to learn the art of balancing. We should be proud, just as how we see, congratulations, you got a bachelor's, congratulations, you got 4 chords on graduation, congratulations, you moved your tassel from wherever to wherever. I don't know how they do that. I'm sorry, I didn't graduate in this country, so I don't know. Congratulations, you got this award to go to London or Taiwan or whatever it is. Congratulate the child when they have achieved something spiritual. It's not something embarrassing. We should be proud. Oh, my child is becoming a servant of Krishna. Whoa, not an easy thing. My son or my daughter has become, whatever, devotee of the Lord, or she's whatever. We should be proud. They are not forgetting Krishna. They are remembering God. We want them to remember God early age, not when they become 60 years. Because when they run into problems, they won't know who to go to. They won't even know, I can go to God. They'll run to parents. We have to teach them from you. Very, very important. So, want to end 5 minutes? Would I like to ask the devotees? Something for us to reflect on? again, even though it's Mother's Day, but it's for both father and mother, you know, how can I plant the seed of devotion in my child? How can I create a spiritual atmosphere at home? How can I ask for help? If we can do these three as parents, if we can do these three, we will bring back the spiritual culture that has been lost for eons in this crazy Kali Yuga. We can be the example of bringing back the spiritual culture, because that is the key point. So, any questions? Thank you so much. Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? We have 5 minutes or so. Any questions, any comments, any reflection, any thoughts? Please. The mic will be passed around. It's definitely food for thought. Something that I'm sure many of us may not have expected on a Mother's Day. But I thought of this topic because I hear a lot of parents going through challenges. You know, how to do this. How do we do this? This is it. We just do this three, and we'll see magic. We'll see magic. Yes?
Hare Krishna.
There you go.
Peace is the Holy Grace. Thank you for the class, and especially this country that teaches each one for himself, God for us all. Each one for himself. So we got to remember it's actually a community-based type of living in the spiritual world. Even there is community. And the spiritual world, living entities are very, very, very much eager to help each other. This is how they distribute the love. It's like that there. So when we begin to ask for help, and I remember when I was a child also, the decision was made, we go to this aunt's house, we go here. That was an arrangement that was being made. So I remember very well, I was on the receiving end of it. The decision was made by parents, and this time we're here, this time we're there, this time. But now, of course, I grew up and I understood what was really going on. So there definitely was that, you know, sharing attitude. And of course, as an adult in Gideonagri, we saw that a lot. Everybody's child was cared by everybody else when it was time for them to do service for Sisila Lamda. The children were too young then. And it wasn't just the mothers, even the fathers took care of it too, of the children. You know, everybody was nurturing, helping like that. So this whole idea of each one for himself and God, or each family for itself and God for us all, take that out of your mind. That's demonic. Literally. Please ask each other, and you'll be surprised at how much relief we can give each other when we help. You know one thing, I'll just say one thing that's actually helping some families, and that doesn't even have to do with children. This is about a job. So people carpool, and those who do carpooling, they'll tell you, it's quite convenient. You don't have to pay so much in gas, and so much. And of course you get to relate too, since you're more than one person in the car, you get to talk about things, relate well with each other. So the community-based type of living is actually what it is like in the spiritual world. We might as well practice it here too. I think.
Very good point. Sometimes we forget that in Goloka Vrindavan, it's community-based. So this is our practice ground. How can we be a community here? Because we cannot be a non-community member and expect to be a community in Goloka Vrindavan. It doesn't switch like that. So this is our practice ground. You know, how can we be a community here so we can fit into the mood in the spiritual world? Yeah, very nice point. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions and comments? Any thoughts, any reflections? Anything from the mothers? A lot of food for thought, I'm assuming. Unexpected Mother's Day message. Okay, if we all can just focus on these 3 questions, more like a reflection, you know, how can I plant the seed? How can I be a gardener for my children and the family? And how can I create a spiritual atmosphere at home? And how can I ask for help? If we can do these 3, we got it. We got it. We have brought, like I said, we got the spiritual culture. We got it. Srila Prabhupada ki. Can we all quiet down and come closer and prepare our minds as we prepare for Guru Puja Arati, please? If we can leave the chit-chatting and the catching up for later, that would be very, very nice. Hari Om.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिरोपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक चाचक स्तोत्र सत्य शिवानंद divine bliss Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki Koti Vaishnavindi ki Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Name Sri Kapil Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Vaiti Gadadhar Sivas Hari Gaur Bhaktavindi ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Swami Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham ki मथुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ स्वामी की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की सामवेद भक्त पिंड की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
and more full, you know, and everybody's dancing, having a good time. It's very, very nice to dance for the Lord, and we welcome all of you for Sunday program. Again, we would like to wish all the mothers a very, very, very happy Mother's Day. And would also like to share with all of you that we want to give an extra thank you to all the men that cooked with their children the Sunday feast today. I know some of the women are smiling thinking, uh-oh, is it edible? Believe me, it is, because the devotees that cook, they're good cooks. I confirm that. So please, when you see them, thank the men for cooking. At least we get them to cook once a year, which is a blessing. So it'll be really, really nice, you know, that we all thank the men for cooking such a wonderful feast, and they really were putting their hearts into this. So, Haribol, can we have the girls stop chit-chatting? Thank you. And so, in fact, it was with them and the sons and the daughters. All of them did it. So please, thank you for such a wonderful feast, and thank you all for stepping up and really making this very special for the mothers. I just have a humble request of all the men and the children here, is just for today, I know this sounds kind of sad, but I'll say it anyway. Just for today, I would like to request that the women can be served prasadam first.
Yep.
Please. Let them line up, the first ones in line. Serve them so that they get to eat first, because at home, I think they get to eat last, many times. So for today, let them stand in line first, and if all the men and the children can serve them, and when they come up, wish them Happy Mother's Day, please. It's a wonderful service that we can do for all the women, and this is how we can slowly bring back the spiritual culture that has been lost in this crazy material world, how we honor and respect the mothers. So thank you all the men and the children for about to do the service, to let the mothers have the prasadam first in line. And if you notice that we have a new addition outside on the property of our temple, and Kameshwar was not here, but we will definitely send a personal message to them that his son's Boy Scout troop fundraised and actually put that whole picnic table out there, and doesn't it not look beautiful? Very nice. 2 picnic tables, thank you. They put 2 picnic tables. So whenever any of us, and mostly it's the young kids that do that, because you know, it's so sad. I've seen them always sitting outside in the summertime, sitting in the driveway eating prasadam. Now you guys can sit at the picnic table and have prasadam. No more the driveway. So it's very, very nice. So when we are going to be sending out a very heartfelt thank you to Arab's troops for really taking out the service. And again, they completely raised all the funds for it. It's a beautiful project for a 17-year-old to actually take this upon himself to do such a charity service, you know, fundraise everything, the project, and for our temple. So whenever we see them anywhere in town, or if you know them personally, please thank them. And like I said, we'll definitely send them a personal thank you again, and deep gratitude for doing such wonderful service for our temple. As we know, next Sunday is graduation day. Are the teachers ready? Okay, they look tired. I hope the kids didn't beat you up. Okay, good. So all the parents, you will witness next week what your child has learned, children has learned, and when we watch that, congratulate them, because they have done something really spiritually amazing. The teachers have planted the seed of devotion in their hearts. And we go home as parents and we continue planting the seed of devotion in the hearts of the children. So when we see what the kids are going to be doing next week, congratulate them, and also let it be like a learning lesson for, as parents, you know, because kids teach us in their growing years. They do give us a lot of lessons. So please come out, bring your friends and family who don't have kids, so that they can be inspired to actually see what the kids do. And we'll also be inspired to have the kids join the Sunday school. So please bring out the family. But we do request all of you to please be on time at 4:30, because our teachers need them here at 4:30 American Standard Time. Because they're not dealing with just one kid. It's more than 5 kids. They got to get them in order, do a pre-preparation, and the whole 9 yards. So please be on time. Haribo. So please be on time so that we can help the teachers to also, be able to get the kids together for the graduation day. May 22nd, Wednesday, is the Shringa Chaturdasi Ki. It's a beautiful festival of Lord Nrsimha Day when he appeared. That is, it'll be an evening program at 6 o'clock. And there will be Pushpa Abhishek of Lord Nrsimha Day. We are still working on the details, and we'll definitely share it with you the next few days. So please do come out at 6 o'clock Wednesday evening and make time, make time in a busy schedule for the Lord. This is the point. Make time for the Lord. If we keep repeating that mantra to ourselves, we will definitely make time for the Lord, because we gotta put the Lord first. So please do join us. May 22nd is Nrsimha Chaturdasi, and we all have heard that our Rath Yatra has been switched to July 20th, 1 month early, because Lord Jagannath wants to come sooner. For whatever reason, we will only know on July 20th day why he wants to come sooner. So if we all want to know why the Lord decided to come 1 month sooner, please join us on July 20th, Rath Yatra Day. Lots of services because we are 1 month less, so there's a lot of gearing up. So you're going to be hearing a lot of messages, help that we need to make it happen. So please do make it a wonderful festival. This time, Lord Jagannath Deities will be coming from Baltimore Temple, along with Sri Prabhupada Murti. So it's going to be a very nice change, but a very beautiful change. So please and spread the word around. Invite your friends, neighbors, family, neighbors, everyone. Invite everyone to come out of the same spot, City Island, right behind the stadium. So please do join us for that. Next, if anyone has not paid for the New York Rath Yatra bus van, please see Mother Varsha. She still has payments to collect for that, and she needs the payments to make the payment up front before the van can be driven. If not, there's no van for us to go. So please do see Mother Varsha to please make your payment if you have not done so, to join the New York Rath Yatra caravan to observe the biggest Rath Yatra on the East Coast since 1969. So please do join us for that. 3 more announcements. We have 2 special guests coming next month, so please do mark your calendars. June 16th, we have His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu from Atlanta. Amazing devotee, very senior proper disciple. He gives class once a month on a Bhagavatam class once a month. Great, amazing, powerful book distributor. So if any of the book team members want to get some ideas from him, that is the best time to catch him, because he is known for book distribution. So he is also one of our board members for the temple. Very senior proper disciple. So we're very happy to see him. It took me 3 years to get him to come. So keep your fingers crossed, because he said he'll come. So he's coming on June 16th. His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu. So please do block your calendars for that. And we have His Holiness Chandramali Swami coming on June 30th. And it's going to be a very special visit, because he had to change his ticket twice so that he can come to our temple. So we all got to make sure that no matter what, we are here on June 30th. Because a sannyasi, the pure devotee of the Lord, changed his ticket for us. So we got to change all plans for him. So please do make it on time. Please be here. In fact, this year we're going to be celebrating a new festival in this temple, but it's a very old festival from Lord Chaitanya's time. It's called the Panihati Festival. First time ever in ISKCON of Harrisburg. We will definitely share more of it, of what it is. But it's a festival that's called the Chip Rice Festival. That was It's a beautiful pastime. I don't want to take time for this because it's going to take forever and I know everybody's hungry. But we'll definitely share more of the pastime, hopefully the next couple of weeks. But it's a wonderful festival. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to get clay pots for everyone to make different kinds of chip rice. Paint your clay pots however you want, and we'll offer it to Nitai Gaurachandra on the Panimati Festival Day, and we will hear a beautiful, glorious, amazing lecture by His Holiness Chandramali Swami. Amazing. He's also a very, very, very senior discipleship prophet, a sannyasi. Actually, Chandramali Swami used to serve, before he became a devotee and joined ISKCON, he used to serve in the Vietnam War. He's a veteran of the Vietnam War. So that is the reason why he can really connect with prisoners, because of his Vietnam War training. So please, we are very blessed to have His Holiness Chandramali Swami with us on that day. So you'll hear more of this coming out in the next few weeks. Today's Sunday's feast is sponsored by Puna Mataji on behalf of her daughter Sumana's birthday. So thank you so much. Please, when you see this little girl right here, wish her happy birthday. We have a little cake for you downstairs, Vika. Surprise. So please, when you go down, wish her happy birthday. We made a small little special cake for your daughter. Hopefully she will like it. And give her your blessings that she will always continue on the path of Krishna consciousness and never leave Krishna. That's the best prayer we can give her. And before we conclude, I would like to request the boys, we sometimes forget, but just a reminder, this is actually Chanamrit. And it's very important that before we leave the temple every Sunday, we take the Chanamrit. Chanamrit is actually the bathing water from Nitai Gaurachandra. It's to drink the bathing water of the Lord is pure mercy. So every Sunday we have this. And it's sweetened, so please, when you come up to take darshan, please do take Chanamrit. It's directly the bathing water from the body of the Lord. Amazing mercy. It's only in Kali that we can get this mercy, you know. It's very, very rare, very, very rare to get the bathing water from the Lord's body. So please, do come up and take it, and I will ask Rohin if he can do the prasadam prayers, and we will go down and have a wonderful place. Hare Krishna.
Mahaprasade Govinde
all along we learned about being self-centered.
It's always
Saturday, 8 o'clock. Yeah, evening. fine.